Hello, and welcome to the next edition of our 6-minute support series video and podcast. My name is Seth LeBlond, and I'm the Assistive Technology Coordinator at the Foundation for Blind Children. Each week during the school year, we'll be releasing a video in which we attempt to explain a practical concept in assistive technology in 6 minutes or less. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride, because here we go. This week, we'll be talking about empowering students to learn assistive technology. Should I press enter? That is a question that those of us who've been teaching assistive technology for any length of time have heard quite a bit from our students. It's a question that comes from a lack of experience on the part of our students. But it also is a question that can come from a lack of confidence on the part of our students. Should I press enter is usually a question that someone who already knows the answer is asking. The reason people ask is because they feel like if they press enter and they're wrong, they're going to blow up their computer or break something, cause something to stop working the way that it should. Maybe they're asking because they're not very familiar with the technology environment in which they're operating. How can we, as technology instructors and other people that are helping students to learn technology, help to improve that confidence so that instead of asking the question, students feel empowered to press enter and other keys when they think they should? Learning technology is much more about being able to discover than it is about the knowledge that we already have. As we all know, technology tends to change quite a bit over time. When I got my first computer in the early 1990s, it had DOS 5.0 and Windows 3.11 for workgroups on it. It was an archaic computer compared to today's computer systems. And yet, to this very day, I see pieces of that operating system in my daily interactions with technology. Buttons are still buttons. Dialog boxes are still dialog boxes. Check boxes are still check boxes. Edit fields are still places where we type information. The bottom line is, although technology has advanced quite a bit in the 30 years that I've been using a computer regularly, the basic concepts that govern how we interact with technology haven't changed very much. In my opinion, the best thing that we can do to help empower our students to be able to use technology confidently is not to teach them how to use various applications by rote, but to teach them how to react to different situations and how they should behave in various environments. For example, if we know that a dialog box is a window that contains an ordered collection of Windows controls, and we know that whenever we're in a dialog box, we can use the Tab key to move forward and Shift Tab to move backward among those controls, and we learn about the relatively few Windows controls that there are, we can now use a dialog box in any application, regardless of whether someone has ever taught us to use that application or not. If we give students the foundational information that I've been talking about, we can empower them to learn the technology that they need to use on their own. They can do things like perform web searches to learn keyboard shortcuts because they've learned the basics of how to navigate on the web. Regardless of what website they go to, if they use the same basic principle to navigate every web page, they should be able to find the information they need. They can use the information that they have to browse through the various help systems that are built into Windows, because they have the basic foundational skills they need to navigate in those types of environments. It's like learning to cross a street. If you learn how to cross a 4-way lighted intersection at 44th Street in Camelback, You shouldn't need to be separately taught how to cross the intersection at 40th Street in Camelback. The same exact principle applies regardless of which street you're crossing, and we can apply the same logic to learning technology. Instead of concentrating on learning all the ins and outs of every single application, we might empower our students more by learning how to operate in different environments and then applying that to new applications when the need to learn them arises. That wraps up our 6-minute support series video and podcast for this week. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at sleblond, that's SLEBLOND, at seeitourway.org, and I'll try to address them in a future presentation. For the Foundation for Blind Children, I'm Seth LeBlond.